zijn pluimpjes. Het ziet er een speciaal uit. Doorgaande geestintelligentie opent de weg voor grote overvloed voor een financiële vrijheid. Ik ben een sterke magneet voor alles wat tot een goddelijk recht behoort. Ze zullen vandaag gedaan worden. Vandaag is de dag van voltooiing. Ik ben dankbaar voor deze perfecte dag. Mirakels en mirakels volgen en wonderen zullen altijd blijven doorgaan.
Good morning, everybody. So, on the left side, you can see that we are actually having a chopped market. So, we've been ranging, this is hourly, so we've been going sideways for a while. That's about 14 hours, no movement at all. So before taking anything, I do want to see a clean structure movement. If you watch higher time frames, we can indicate that we are actually I'm expecting a bit lower at this point. So what we do, last impulse move. So this was our last impulse move. We came up. Now we're impulsing down. So I want to actually see us hit that 4-hour level just above here, and then see how we act off of it. So that's the main idea that I have. And then first of all, we probably will fill up this 4-hour gap just below fully. We just tapped it and we had a sort of reaction off of it. Not strong enough actually to indicate that we could head up higher. So we probably will finish off this one today, but I got no idea if we go up first or that we go down at this point. Both options are available. Reason why is we've been going, this is the amount of range that we're in, so we are ranging at this point. So we take out the high ones and we took out the low ones, but at this point we're trading intraday, so the candles aren't making new highs or new lows, so we're ranging. So as long as we don't break this structure to the up or downside, I will need to be patient and see which side we're actually going to trade off of. The daily looks a bit more bearish than yesterday. So we came up, we tapped liquidity, and then it flew full all the way back down. So I was expecting to take us yesterday to take bottom high. We did not. So if this structure keeps going, we will probably go even lower. So will depend on the next few days what's happening. This is the last day of the month, by the way, too. And that's also an indication that sometimes the market can do different. So if we indicate that the market should retrace, we can go back to 24,100 and a bit. So this would be the area where we could look off. Now at this point, If we go up, that 4-hour gap would be our first target. That's this buy side liquidity that we would take. We take all that trend line liquidity that we build up, sideways liquidity, everything. And after we take the high, we probably will go to the lows. It will depend on how this market actually starts. So no real buyers at this point, just two directions, and we're just in the middle of the range. So again, if we come back to that 4-hour gap, we'll probably finish it off completely. We can see neither in the hourly, the bullish or the bearish candles, they're just chopped all day. So same from yesterday, we came in, it fell back down and actually started moving sideways the whole day. Not the most favorable price action yesterday afternoon. So we'll be more patient than normally on my own trades until I see actually where we're headed to. So we have a red folder at 4, but for the rest actually just an orange folder, 2 in the afternoon, but not nothing special. So most news have already been done all. Wat de deur open? Wat de deur open? Asiel?
Waar is dat zo? Dat is Ariana die naar hier is gekomen?
Waar is die?
Ja. Ah. Welke deur open?
Achter de deur open stond, dat jij veel beter uit kan passeren.
Oh, nee.
So, good morning Majid, good morning Beaumont, Veerle and Nicholas. So if we get a nice push up, we'll probably go to that 4-hour and then I want to see how we act off of that one. So you can see in this hourly, we just then nothing, actually didn't move anything. So the main idea is that this is actually still that bullish structure. So we broke a high, so we did a break of structure, we had a retest, so we should move further up right here. So tomorrow will be a silent trading day, so everything will be on the screen and there will be no talking. And for today, anybody that's normally in the bootcamp, today there is no lesson. So it will be moved to Thursday. Make an announcement in the meantime. No, no less today. We'll be on Thursday. So while I sit here, read your trade plan one more time. Always and will always help you to keep remembering how you are trading. So again, for anybody just joined, we have been ranging for 14 hours plus now, sideways movement, so we do expect some kind of movement to the up or downside rather fast. So if we watch this in a 4 hourly or an hourly, we can say we had a break of structure to the downside. So anywhere somewhere in this area would be a nice retest to continue that structure. That 4 hour did the same, had a break to the downside. We actually had, so if you watch it from an outswing point, so we had an internal range back to an external range, so we are expecting internal range to go back to external range. So on the higher time frame, I do expect higher prices until it shows differently, of course. But at this point, it still looks like we want to go up higher, so it looks like this movement is now active, it's showing. So we came into that gap, but not sure that that was enough liquidity yet. Because if that was, most of the times we have a very strong push off of it and we don't sit 14 hours sideways. So if I don't see a clear direction where I head to, I probably won't take a trade. It depends on how the market actually moves and if it shows me a certain direction that it wants to go into. So there was no breach for the orb. The pre-orb has an 18-point range. So we reacted all this last 5 minutes for value gap here. I want to see how the next structure is formed. So for both trading styles or pre-orb or a continuation trade, we do need an expansion move. So we do need to move in a certain direction. So as long as we're ranging, none of these two methods actually are very useful. So always be aware of your surroundings when you're trading, so that you always go watch, first of all, the daily where we're at. So we had a small opening gap also in this daily. Then you watch the 12 hour, how did we act off of it. So we came into a value gap of a 12 hour, we tapped it, we moved a bit lower. So now we're just sitting here. 6 hour the same, so we came into a 6 hour value gap, took out liquidity, moved lower, we tapped. So an external liquidity back to an internal liquidity, and now it actually wants back external liquidity or back to fair value. So and then we watch again on the hourly what it does, and the hourly it's sideways, so here we need to be patient because we trade 4 hour hourly and then actually the 15 minutes to see where the market heads to. Same on the 4 or 5 minutes, no much movement. So here we can indicate what the market wants to do. So say that we hit this value gap right here at 5 minutes, and now it continues higher to take out that high again, then we probably move up higher. First target would be the start of that buy side liquidity, the 4 hour value gap just here, and then we see how far we can take this. can see actually if you want to trade a continuation trade with in a sideways movement or a chopped market that it actually doesn't work. So we had a 15-minute fair value gap. You could have entered to long off, didn't work. Second one was here, we had a change, we entered, we didn't came below it again, so did work. Upside again, we got tapped out. Again, upside here, we got stopped. So once we are seeing sideways movement, we need to be patient until we actually have a ranging or actually an impulsive movement again, so that we actually see that the market wants to take a direction. So be aware always of your surroundings if you're trading. 32 seconds, and we could have a break to the upside. So Eunicea took it, she said this is out, so she's in a long position right now. So for that continuation play, we still need to be patient. We don't have a value gap yet. So we will see what the market does in a few minutes. So this looks like a bullish momentum. So if we should get a tab back into this before we reach that high, that would be nice to see that continuation play then. I would definitely want to take this. But I do want to see that it hit before we take that high. So we do want to have some form of impulsive movement to a direction.
Een kwartier is hier.
Ik heb hem zien, maar volgens mij gaan we dat niet hit. De 5 hebben volledig afgesloten. Main idea, if we hit a 15 minute, I would love to long off of this, but we probably won't get that hit because this 5 minute closed completely.
Zie je 5 minuten close? Nee, niet zo. 5 minuten. Ja.
Ja, minietje. So we taken out internal structure high. Now we need to see how we act off of this. This is important. Especially if we want to continue, we should not struggle too long to go past that high. Otherwise we're ranging again, so we do want to see that continuation movement. Yeah, I see too. It's a small 5 minutes. I have no idea how many times they show exactly the same direction, London and pre-London. If they do show the same direction, we have a huge amount of profitability that we have a great trade immediately off of that. So I'm gonna, if that 15-minute hits, I'm gonna give that a try and see if that works. If I'm going long off of it, not the most favorite position because we're still in that sideways range, but we'll give it a shot and see if we can hit to that gap just above. So again, if this 15-minute hits, I have a limit order right here. See if we can hit that gap upwards, just above us. The stop should be about 16 points, so it's a small stop. And that will happen rather fast too. So if we hit that and the market decides not to continue, we will rather see it fast happening. So this hourly just above is my first TP that we want to hit. If we hit that before we hit that 15 minutes, I will not enter that 15 minutes. I'm just being patient and seeing how the market moves. Morning, Emily. So if you just joined, there is no lesson today. Will be moved to Thursday. Just that you know. So here we'll see rather fast how the market reacts. So because we hit that high, we didn't come above it. We had like a swing, a high, made a swing high. So if this market doesn't decide to go up yet, we will take out all this trend line liquidity right here and come to that 4 hour just below us. So this is actually the reason. This is the most important place in this structure formed. So in the next 2 minutes we will hit back up fully, or we will get stopped immediately. So right here it will definitely show us in the next 4 minutes already what it wants to do. Yeah, that looks like it wants to take out our low again. So this is why ranging markets are not the most fun to trade, because if they don't break that structure of that range, they keep doing the same thing over and over again. They just go from up, down, up, down. If in the next 3 minutes this candle comes completely back up to the high, that would indicate that we could go up higher.
Ja, ik had hem dan niet staan, dus ik heb wel uit.
Yeah, and eunicea added to the trade. I'm in this long too, so I took a long by the way too.
Als de bedoeling dat je er ook aankomt, of?
Kan ik al er even tussen doen.
Ja, ik heb dat gerekend. Dat is 5.
Staat op 150, dus met 110 in de middel. So this is not the most favorable price action that it looks like, so this probably will stop us out. We should already move back up. So the price is, if if this isn't ready yet to move further up and keeps chopping around, I'm not gonna touch it again. So no news is coming out today too, so not much action that we could receive from news too. So let's see in the next few minutes what this market wants to do. If it does wants to continue, it should do it very fast.
Wat doe je die dan? Die dan? Die? Die? Zeg over dat zo?
Yeah, this price action is not the best. And actually I should not even enter this trade. So that's the stop. So I'm not gonna take another trade until 9:15. So see what 9 o'clock brings.
Zo heb je geroepen, hè?
Yeah, that's my dog.
Ja, Boelmans heeft hem geroepen.
His name is Azul.
Nou, ik kan niet tegen weer.
Yeah, this will stop me out too. This price action doesn't look like it wants to continue. That was around a half hour, a bit more than a half hour. Again, if we keep trading this movement, I'll probably don't take another trade. It's no use giving anything back to the market if we just sit here and chop around. Yeah, we were actually exactly inside of that range, so we could have taken both sides here. Probably I had to be more patient for that break of structure, so we actually didn't make a full break of structure. We only had an internal small one, so actually I need to be patient until this high was broken. So next time, a bit more patient. So 5 more minutes still open. We'll probably take out that liquidity right here then too at open. Yeah, if we fall straight to that 4-hour gap, we definitely will long. We definitely can long off of that one. So even those 4 hours, you can see we didn't move at all. So 4 more minutes still open and see if maybe London brings some movement. And now some happy music to focus on the next trade. Okay, well, what kind of music do you want? You probably can't hear it through because I had headphones on. Dus 54 gap was weet ik niet helder. Ik kan geen break of structure.
Ja, dat gaat heel mooi zijn, is dat weet ik niet.
Ja, dus niet zo'n gap zijn. Ook was nu affiliate ook. Ik had eigenlijk gezien dat het nog niet breakt was. Had zij 15 gap en ik was eigenlijk mee aan het gaan direct. Om een minuut te lopen. The good thing is if we hit that 4-hour gap before at open actually and we got some form of a reversal back up, that would be a nice, even a better trade from the position that we actually had before. And that would actually complete that 4-hour structure too. So they want to see that gap fully get filled. If it does, then we have a nice movement back to the upside. So here's open. So you can see no force, no displacement, no movement at all. So if we keep doing this, I'll just call it a day. These circumstances, we better just leave the charts alone and just do something else. If we come back tomorrow, we could have a very much better price action than this. And then also be okay with it. Dat is speciaal. Die heel plat vinden in een keer.
Plat?
Die heel is heel plat.
Door de vliegen zeker opgegeten. Door de vliegen. Hier. Nou, ik had mijn hoofd naar beneden meegenomen.
En die bak?
Ah, nee.
Goed. Ben jij aan het komen? Ja, we doen het een tweede keer. Ja. So we're now taking out sell side liquidity. Are we taking out session low? So this was session low, by the way. So it looks like we will fall to that 4 hour right now and then see if we get some form of retracement back to the highs. If we do not, and we keep having down movements today, we have a big way down. We are 6 minutes and open right now, and London actually looks like the same movement. Not a big push at all at open, so here we will hit a 4-hour gap. We will fill this up completely, so it is definitely possible we go to 4. We will first of all definitely take out New York's low, and then we will fill up this gap at least to halfway, just because we already tapped it, so we definitely need to get to halfway point. First time that I listen to this person. Never heard him before. First time that I hear Ben. Whom was it? Becomme? I hope the stream can stay online. Sometimes I do get some. When we play music, it's not always allowed that the stream stays online.
Dat is een vraag.
Hm?
Een vraag.
The good thing is that we now are outside that range, or going outside that range box that we were inside. So if we take that swing low, so this one here, if we take out our wick, we came at this gap and we see a structure changing back to the upside, that would be ideal. But as long as we're trading in this movement right now, it looks like we are wanting to go lower, of course. The first target is New York's low and this gap, and then I want to see how we act off of this gap. Do we continue further? If we do, then we have to start looking at the daily that we could fall fully down, so that would make 24,751 to clean off this candle. Yeah, that's definitely possible. That's inside 4 hour. You can see that the monthly was definitely bullish this spot. So we have been 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th month in a row. We have actually bullish price action. This does not always happen 5 months in a row, so the only thing now is if I want to have a full break of structure back to the upside, I actually need to get above the high here. So I need these 3 15-minute candles or for value gaps, even though maybe formed. I need to invert them completely before I can get that retest. So this can take a while. Six seconds and the morning orb has been created. So this is that range. So if we would breach this to the low, I would not be a fan of shorting this actually. So if we take the low right here, I would not be a fan of shorting this completely. So again, so what could we done differently today is actually, once we see this sideways movement, maybe be patient again until we actually see a full structure change before we do anything. Or, of course, that's time-based, but for somebody that trades continuations, we could just be a half hour or an hour more patient until we actually see where the market wants to go to.
Wat purple Jamie. Een zonnetje daar van boven.
Zeker plaatsen onder.
Het was purple Jamie, dat was helemaal zo.
I'll be right back. Need to go to the bathroom for a second. So if you want to indicate actually what the price is doing and where it's acting from, so if you watch this 12-hour age, so movement, so we made go back a bit. So this was the last high, so here we made a new high on this one, so we made a break of structure movement to the upside. We made a new high, so from the high we are creating a new low, so now we want to see how we act at this certain level itself. Do we actually want to create a new high, or do we want to retrace back to fair value of price? So markets tend to move from external levels to internal levels and back to fair price, external levels, and then so over again. It's not always accurate. Most of the times they move this way. Let me rephrase that. So very slow motion price action after a sideways movement, even if they're taking some external liquidity, we actually didn't move at all. We didn't hit that gap yet. We did hit, but we didn't take out New York's low yet, so we probably will take that out too before we continue higher. So an hour and a half in stream right now, and still at the same price like we started almost. Still no clear direction where it wants to go to, so we actually tapped that 4 hour and we did not take all the liquidity yet, so I believe we will still take out that Wix low of New York session. We did take out Asia session already, so if it wants the last bit of liquidity, that would be the tap that I want to see hit. Also, this is the last day of this quarter, so tomorrow is a new quarter. I've never checked it if it actually the market moves slower that day. So if I don't see a clear movement in the next 15 minutes or something, I'm gonna call it a day. So half hour into New York, London's open and no other breach yet. So again, that chop market. So we had some huge, nicely profitable days, and then now we need to be more patient. Like I said, I give it another 10 minutes or something like that, see if I get some form of movement for the market, otherwise we just call today and come back in the afternoon session. My dog can go for Chewbacca. Should have called him Chewbacca instead of Azul. He makes really funny sounds sometimes. And actually I have no idea what he wants when he does this. He just likes to speak, I believe, instead of wanting something. Oh, que suck. still looks like we want to go lower at this point. So definitely hit that 24,745 level, somewhere around that level. And then I want to see reverse back to the upside. If we do not reverse back to the upside and we continue to fall further, we have a huge way. So here we have structure to the downside. Now we took out our swing low already, so this is New York session. Here I want to see how we react off of this. So Alicia took a short to the downside. Would not be If we continue to the downside, the next 9 minutes should continue falling further down.
Dat is ook niet de moeite.
Oh, goed. Kan je het, So that would definitely not be my favorite place to short off 4-hour value gap. Liquidity's been taking, so or we will continue to fall immediately right here, or we have a straight reversal back to the highs. Yeah, in the 6 hour it looks like we definitely want to go lower. So if you want to have accurate time frames where we actually trade off, so a 6 hour is very accurate, a 4, a 1, a 15, a 5, a daily and a week. Actually a 12 hour and 30 minutes. I just use them to watch intraday, so we don't need those. But I know a team that works fully off for 6 hours and they actually perform very well. You just have way less trades, but they are more accurate. So we take note that low twice now. So still no really actually a great fan of this price action. The reason why is because we made a candle to the downside, but we actually didn't stay below that wick. So that's not the most favorable price action. If we have a lot of strength in these candles, we actually stay below them. We did create a new 5, so this is actually a good indication that we can watch how price moves. So because we have a 5 inside that whole range again, so if we hit this, and we have a continuation to the downside, we rather have it fast. So it's 20 before 10, not much moved, so I'll keep it open to stream until 10 and then I'll call it a day. So if anybody would have joined that or the downside, that's why. Doesn't look like I will get an entry. So we now came to halfway that gap. So here we want to see, do we want to continue further down, yes or no? So it looks like there is some strength in this market. So next 2.5 minutes we should stay below, we should not come back to the warp range or even to our entry. We should continuously move further down. So again, if we do fall through that gap right here, we got the possibility to come back down to here even. That's a 12-hour gap right here, so we could come all the way back down here. So that's around 24,700 level. So work to the downside worked out great right now. So at this point that's 0.7. So if you continue falling, we could take this at least to level 700 level or higher. Nonetheless, my main idea is still that we actually hit that 4-hour gap, fully filled it, and I want to continue higher again. That's still my main thought process. Reason why is, if we take that range, that would be around 50% of that range. So we took out external liquidity, came into internal liquidity. So external liquidity back to fair value price, back to from to internal liquidity back to external liquidity. So we're back to that 50% level. The next 15 minutes is actually important how the market should move, because if this hourly comes back all the way up, we're moving further up, so this actually the next 15 minutes are very important.
Heeft er iemand eigenlijk de short gepakt?
On what shop? Did everyone do that?
On the pre-order.
But somebody take a short on pre-orb itself, so because we took orb to the upside, and some people have in their stuff that they can take the short too, so the short would have played out perfectly on pre-orb. Not sure if anybody took it. Yeah, somebody took. I took a short after the warp and 5 minute fog fail. Yeah. So somebody did take it. Normally Eunicea does take it too, but she wasn't. She was actually doing something different. She didn't see it. Otherwise, she definitely would have taken it too. Because that would have actually been a clean entry. So this was orb. So here we had the fail, so this was actually the short already. I would have been a clean 2-hour move. So it does look like I will get an entry in the next 10 minutes, so no more trading for me. If I see any trades in the coming hours, I will post it in Discord, of course. So 9 more minutes in an hourly. So these are the most importantly minutes of that hour. So if this hourly comes back all the way to, say, entry of that hourly candle, we're moving further up here. Like I said, I will not take another trade today, so we're back at entry of order range, and the next 3 minutes will show us definitely what this wants to do. We had a small fair value gap right here, over 5 minutes. But on the 15 minutes it still looks very normal. We just came back, we closed the candle, so we can just continue further down in the next 7 minutes. Like I said, this will show you what it wants to do. So always be patient until a candle closes and before you make any decisions. So if you trade the 15 minute, be patient until the 15-minute candle closes until you make a decision based on of that action price. Je pakt dat verder uit, hè?
Nee, ik zag hem. Dat was voor mij geen...
Is te klein?
Dat was voor mij echt geen... Ik heb hier helemaal uitgezoomd en ik zag hem nog niet.
What I'm just on NQ. So
Initial
Initial did not take this as an entry because on MNQ you could not see this fair value gap.
En bij u wel?
Hier kon je wel zien. Ja. En on NQ kon je hem zien.
Dat is anders andersom.
Kun je nog niet hoe dat het beter is. So again, if you want to trade this and you see this market in the next 10 minutes move fully back up to that high, that means that the market definitely will go up higher. So don't short it right away off of it. Be patient. So, for the rest of the day, I wish you all a very great trading session in London. Like I said, I'm not going to take another trade. Initia's still in, so we will update this in the afternoon session, how this went. It's only a half-hour stop that she has, so she didn't take a full hour on this one.
Ik kon niet. 170 maken.
Oh, okay. So I will see you all back in this afternoon session. Not much price action or slow market, so I would stay off of it until you actually see a nice direction. So same for continuation. Wait for that break of structure nicely to show its hand where it wants to go to. Now we did have a break of structure to the downside, so we did have that. So if we have a retest of this and continue lower, that could be an option. The only thing is, in the higher time frames, we see that we came into for value gaps that could hold a lot of value because our movement is to the upside. So that this is the retracement of this move up that we had. So the main idea is that if we hit these levels, that we actually move away from them really fast. I said this at the morning session that we could have had the first tap to the upside or the tap to the downside. Both of the options were very open at this point. The reason why was that we were in the middle of the range. So wish you all a great trading session in London and see you back this afternoon.